Well, hello, friends. Mark Holmes here, and as always, I want to thank you guys for watching, commenting, subscribing, and being part of the Joe Boo Sports Report. Without you guys, this literally does not work. All right, so I was actually working in the workshop here. I got to get a couple of these racks out. One in particular for one cockroach. We're having I'm trying to figure out, and maybe you guys can help me because the cockroach, the swamp rat, sewer rat, whatever you want to call it, the rat wants one of my racks. And he's willing to bet for that rack. The question is, what do I want to bet him? What do I want to bet him? What is it that he has that I want? Now the belt is that's got nothing to do with me. That's a young man's game, okay? I'm old. I'm like 20 plus over all those guys that are fighting over the belt. You know I'm way too old to be dealing with the belt. But I need your help figuring out what it is that we want from Cop Pizzle. Leave a comment in there and say what he should bet, what he should put on the line. Should it be his sunglasses? His hat? You tell me. But anyway, I was uploading the video because I was working in my workshop on this rack for the Pizzle. And I was coming across Mike Fisher had done an article because Snacks Harrison, big Snacks Harrison, big run stopper, 32-year-old Snacks Harrison, former New York Giant, who played great with the New York Giants years ago, All-Pro Snacks Harrison in 2016, who was a free agent over the summer, who lived in Dallas, and the Cowboys, didn't really. They were kind of tepid. I think they talked to him, but they never signed him. And October 7th, the Seattle Seahawks signed him to the practice squad, and he had limited playing time, very limited. He ended up with 9 tackles. I want to say 3 were solo, 6 combined, no tackles for losses, no sacks, and I don't think any quarterback hits. He didn't get used much, and in his defense, the fact that you didn't have any offseason, any training camp, you get signed in October, you're not getting work. You're going in there cold. So Mike Fisher, who has a relationship with him, because again, he's from Dallas. He has, I want to say, 6 or 7 kids and family. And much like my man Demario Davis, it's like, when they were talking about doing football, whether or not there was going to be a season and how it was going to work out with COVID, Demario was like, no, I'm not, if I'm doing this with my family. And we have to be able to do this safely. And so this was the same problem for Snacks because he lived in Dallas, signing with Seattle and moving the family and everything up there so they can be together. Well, Seattle lets him go and says he's done with them. Mike Fisher starts the article and says that if the Cowboys call, he'll respond. So, yes, the Cowboys... Who let the dogs out? So, here's the thing. I mean, we know we've lost Antoine Woods for this week, and we're talking about bringing him in. Would be talking about bringing him in cold to Dallas to stick him in for that game, and possibly if the Cowboys were to make it the playoffs, to go into the playoffs. Me personally, at this point, I think it's too late. I mean, if the Cowboys had really liked what they saw, they would have signed him, over the summer. Instead, they signed Don Terry Poe. They thought Don Terry Poe was in better shape than Snacks Harrison. It's a guy that you like because he is a Dallas native and things like that. But at 32 years of age, at this point, with 1 game left to the season, you're just going to ride the horse, ride on the horse that you came in with. There ain't no point in changing horses, where we got 100 yards left to go till we're at the stables. You keep up with this thing, and I'm kind of done with the signing of guys just to sign guys. Now I know Tyrone Crawford. Here's the thing: I love Tyrone Crawford. Some of y'all Y'all were calling them lady hips or granny hips. That's what y'all were calling them last night in my live stream. Come on, man. That ain't right. That ain't right. Um, but Tyrone Crawford, who is light, he's light. He's only about 270, 275. Playing defensive tackle is not where you want to be, especially having the 2 hip surgeries that he had last year. I get that, and you would like to get some more beef on there. Antoine Woods was definitely a little more beef and more of a push, but even Antoine Woods wasn't lights out. Ultimately, we need to get a real defensive tackle, and a guy that's 32 years of age, it's just too many miles on it. And you have to understand, at defensive tackle, you take a pounding. You are getting hit and double teamed, you're getting trapped, you're getting influence blocked, you are getting wham blocked, you are getting hit from every which way, and you need a young body to go in there. And like I said, at this point, it's you don't have enough time. I mean, tomorrow is Wednesday. Tomorrow is Wednesday. You got to take COVID tests. So you're talking about bringing them in here and not even being able to have a practice or a walkthrough. It just doesn't work. It's great to talk about. It's great to dream about, because whenever anybody gets released by another team, we always say, oh, we need that guy. Because I saw somebody, this is where it's crazy. It is so crazy because Cowboy fans never want people that we have that are playing good. You guys kept saying, get rid of Amari Cooper. Man, Amari Cooper, he's too much money. Yeah, well, Amari Cooper now has more catches this season after playing with 4 different quarterbacks than he has in any of his careers, any other year, and has his 5th 1,000-yard season. The guy literally is running route circles around guys, and he's like a quiet assassin, but you guys want to get rid of him. Stop trying to get rid of pieces that we have that are good. And stop looking at that guys that didn't make it. Because here's the thing on this. I want you to think about this. Seattle's defense is what? Trash. Trash. And they didn't want him. Yeah. For this team, if we are going to sign free agents, here's the thing that the Dallas Cowboys, and this is, I had this discussion with Michael actually today, because the thing is, when you buy something, I always look at when I got to buy a tool or something like that, you have to look at it and say, is it going to do the job that I want it to do? Is it going to make the job easier and more profitable? And am I buying something just to get by that I'm going to have to replace later on? Because if I'm just getting something to get by, if I'm going to say, man, let me just go buy a cheap drill and I'll buy a good one later, then don't buy the cheap one. Because you'll buy 2 or 3 of those where you would still have that one over there. Wait until you really get what you need. I'm telling you. And when it comes to free agency this year, instead of us saying, let's go get Clinton Dix, let's go get Emerson Griffin, let's get Dontari Poe and Darryl Worley, guys that are dirt cheap. How about I get one guy that's an impact player, just one, that we know will be a day one starter that improves the defense. I'd rather do that than to go ahead and pay, $3 million here and $4 million here, and end up with a half a player. That's the kind of stuff that we do that's stupid. So as far as Snacks Harrison go for this year, I'd say no. I would not say don't kick the tires on him, for next year and see what he's got. But 32, a defensive tackle, not sure he's got a lot left. All right. See you guys.